Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we have an especially exciting video for you because we have our free pattern as a digital tutorial this month. So we're going to teach you how to create this gorgeous headband knit out of Superior and Nirvana held together. I'm gonna go ahead and insert a written pattern so you guys can screenshot and follow along with the video. So for anybody wondering what colors we're going to be using today, we're going to use Superior number 102, which is this gorgeous lemony yellow color, along with Nirvana 47, the matching 100% merino wool to go along with our cashmere Superior. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing that you guys need is going to be a pair of US 7 needles, as well as a cable needle. I use a crochet hook just because it's easier for me. But what we're going to do is start by casting on 24 stitches. You can use whatever cast on method you like. I'm going to use the long tail cast on just because that's my favorite. But go ahead and cast on 24 stitches and then meet me right back here to start the 8-row repeat. So for row number 1, what we're going to do is purl 3 stitches. Everyone should know how to purl. If not, we have some beginner knitting tutorials for you. If you need to refresh yourself on how to knit or how to purl, go ahead and click those links. I will add them in here. So we purl the first 3 stitches and then we're going to knit 18. So basically knit across to your last 3 stitches, and then you're going to end on a purl 3. Super, super simple. Okay, and then purl your last 3 stitches. Super simple. Purl 3, knit 18, purl 3. That is your row 1 of this pattern. Nice and simple. Let me just untwist all of my stitches here, and then we will move on to row number 2. Okay, so now that we're on row number 2, this row is super simple. We're just gonna purl all the way across the back. So all of your row number 2s, simply purl. Okay, so row 3 is where this pattern starts to get interesting. So row 3, what we're gonna do is we're going to purl our first 3 stitches, those edge stitches for us. Okay, and then what we're going to do is slip 3 stitches onto our cable needle. So like I said, I'm going to use a crochet hook just because I find it a little bit easier to grab the yarn. And what we're going to do is hold these in the front. Next, we're going to knit 3 stitches off of our left-hand needle, as we normally would. Then we're going to knit the 3 stitches from the cable needle. So I'm just gonna pop those back on my left-hand needle. One, 2, 3. Then we're going to knit the 6 center stitches. 1, Then we're going to slip 3 more stitches to the cable needle, but this time instead of holding in the front, we're going to hold it in the back. We're going to knit 3 stitches off of our left-hand needle, we're gonna pop our 3 stitches on the cable needle back onto our working needle, or knit them directly off of your cable needle. Knit those 3. And then end on a purl 3. Okay, so that is it, you guys. Then you can go ahead and spread out your stitches and turn your work for row number 4. So just like row number 2, for row number 4 and all even rows, what we're gonna do is just purl directly across the back. Super simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and meet you back for row number 5. Okay, guys, so we are back for row number 5. And this one is another super simple row. What we're gonna do is simply purl our first 3 stitches, keeping that edge stitching going. We're gonna knit across 18, and then you guessed it, purl the last 3. So we're repeating row number 1 for row number 5. Super simple. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and knit up row number 5, and then I'm gonna purl across row number 6 and meet you back for the second cable row, which is row number 7. Okay, so now that we're on row 7, what we're gonna do is start off by knitting our 3 edge stitches. So we're gonna purl 3 stitches. Then what we're gonna do is knit 3. We're gonna slip the next 3 stitches onto our cable needle. And we're gonna hold that in the back while we knit the next 3 stitches. We're gonna slip the 3 stitches from the cable needle back onto our left needle, or if you have a regular cable needle, just knit them directly off of it. We're gonna slip the next 3 stitches off onto the cable needle, and this time we're gonna hold it in the front. Knit our next 3 stitches. Slip our stitches from the cable needle back on our working needle. We're gonna knit those. Knit our next 3 stitches. And then we're gonna purl our last 3. Okay, so the last row of this repeat is to just go ahead and purl across the back. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll be right back to show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so now that we've finished purling across row number 8, we have finished our repeat. So what you're gonna wanna do now is measure how long your swatch is. Mine is about 1 inch. And then I'm gonna measure the circumference of my head, which I know is about 22 inches for my head. So that's gonna tell me I'm gonna have to do roughly 22 repeats to make it the size that I want. So I'm gonna keep going and knit about 20 repeats, check my size and see if it's long enough. If not, keep going to 22. And then I will be back to show you guys how to sew these up to look as seamless and flawless as possible. Okay guys, so we are back. We have finished knitting up our entire project and we're at about the length where we want it so we can close it on up. So for me, mine is about 21 inches, 20.5 inches roughly, because I have a head circumference of about 22 inches and I wanted there to be some tension on my project when I'm wearing it because it is, as you can see, quite stretchy. So now that we're finished with the knitting portion, what we're going to do is cast off our project. So most of you already know how to cast off, super simple. We're just gonna knit the first stitch, knit the second, then slide that first knit stitch off the needle over the second. And you're just gonna keep repeating that. Knit one, slip one off. Knit one, slip one off. Make sure you're not holding your tension too tight because otherwise your cast off will start to cinch. You want it to be nice and loose and just about even with your cast on so the two edges meet up nicely. So just go ahead and cast off your entire row and we'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so now that we have finished casting off, what we're going to do is seam this piece together. If you wish to block this garment, you can do so before you sew it. I would recommend doing that just so your seams match all up at the end and your project doesn't end up wider than the seams are, or vice versa. You don't want them a lot skinnier and have your project look cinched in where you seam the two pieces. I would personally recommend steaming for this project just because Superior and Nirvana are so delicate and so light that a nice short steaming is all they need to get all of the stitches straightened out. So most of you, I'm sure, are familiar with the Kitchener stitch or just regular seaming up this edge here, but I will go over it really quickly. So the first thing that you're gonna do is when you cut your string from your cast off edge, just make sure you leave a yard or so you can seam up without having to worry about running out of yarn. I also leave a pretty long tail when I cast on so I can weave in from the other end as well. So basically what you're going to do is you're just gonna line up your two edges that you want to sew together, and you take the yarn on a yarn needle and you just go in from the top through both of the edge legs and pull through. It's going to seem counterintuitive to go from the top with sewing, but trust me, when you pull tight with this stitch, it makes it look super flawless and virtually invisible. So again, go across from the top down and just make sure you're lining up your stitches. I'm going to do a couple more stitches to show you guys, and I'll pull it tight. So you guys should be able to see what you are working with. When it comes to the cast on edge, a lot of times you get this kind of look where it's definitely visible on the front. Make sure that you're going in and getting under both of those legs. You don't want to just go under the one, because then you'll still see this edge here. Maybe if I can get it to zoom in there to focus. There we go. So yeah, so make sure you're seaming underneath both legs. Okay. So then when you pull, I'll just show you guys. There you go. You can kind of see it here. It'll pull in together and cinch in really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and seam up this whole thing and bring you back to show you the final result. Okay guys, so there we have it. We have finished seaming up our edge and we've finished our project. As you can see, it looks really clean and super unnoticeable in the project when you wear it. I'm really happy with how this came out. I hope you guys really enjoy this tutorial. I had a lot of fun working on this project, so I hope you guys do too. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing to our channel. Make sure you leave a like and comment down below and tag us in your project if you decide to make one. Thanks. Bye-bye.